Our history is filled with breathtaking tales of mysterious people, and it's always interesting to hear about them. I had a very good time while creating this list and reading about these mysterious people. Now, I share with you 5 tales of the most mysterious people to ever exist, whose identities are still unknown. Make sure to stay for number 1, because he's the most mysterious kid in history I've ever heard of. The Green Children of Woolpit. 2 bizarre children appeared in the village of Woolpit in Suffolk, the UK, back in the 12th century. They were brother and sister and reportedly had green-colored skin. They spoke an unknown language and refused to eat anything other than beans. Eventually, as they learned to eat other food, their skin lost its green color, but unfortunately, the boy was sickly and died soon after he and his sister were baptized. When the girl learned to speak English, she explained that she and her brother had come from St. Martin's Land, which is located underground. She said that the sun never shone there and that everything was green. She claimed they had been herding her father's cattle when they heard a loud noise, and next thing they knew, they were in the wolf pit where they were found. To this day, no one has ever found their true origins. Many people believe that they may have been from a parallel dimension. What do you think? The Man from Taured. In 1954, a man landed at the Tokyo International Airport. When he handed over his passport to be stamped, he was immediately interrogated about his origins. Security asked him to point out his country on the map, and he pointed to Andorra. However, he mentioned that despite what the map said, the country he hailed from was called Taured, and claimed that his homeland had existed for 1,000 years. He'd never heard about Andorra before. Likewise, the security personnel had never heard about Taured. The man claimed he was in Japan on business. His passport seemed to back up his story, as it was covered in previous customs and visa stamps, and he did have legal currency from several European countries. He even had a driver's license issued by the mysterious country and a checkbook containing checks from an unknown bank. His passport, driver's license, and checkbook all backed his story. Confused officers sent him to the nearby hotel and left 2 officials outside to keep eyes on him. But by the next morning, the man vanished mysteriously without leaving any trace behind. The event was troubling, since the only possible exit was through a window with no ledge, 15 stories above a busy street. He certainly would have been noticed. He was never found again, and his situation has led many people into believing that he was from a parallel universe. Dan D.B. Cooper. On November 24th, 1971, a man who called himself Dan Cooper hijacked a Boeing 727 aircraft, claiming to have a bomb in his briefcase. He threatened to blow up the plane if he didn't get $200,000. After having his demands met, he parachuted from the plane at midnight. He was never found, heard from, or seen again. A great public debate surrounds this case, with many speculating on whether or not Cooper died in the jump. Experienced skydivers say that he would have died were it his first jump, but if he was an expert, he would have likely survived. Despite the FBI spending years trying to find this man, his true identity remains a mystery. If he did survive, then this would be a rare example of the perfect crime, and he would be the only person in the history of U.S. aviation that managed to hijack a plane and get away with it. The Man in the Iron Mask. There was a prisoner arrested in 1669 who was kept in a number of jails under the custody of a particular jailer in France. The true identity of the man is unknown because no one ever saw his face. It was hidden by a black velvet mask. He was held in the prison for almost 30 years. The prisoner was told that if he spoke to anyone of anything other than his immediate needs, he would be killed. On November 19th, 1703, when the prisoner died, all of his belongings were destroyed. To this day, no one knows who he was. Some say that the prisoner may have been an identical twin of King Louis XIV, and that he was kept hidden because of his rights to the throne. Twins were a threat to orderly succession, but no one could kill a prince of royal blood, so perhaps the second twin was masked and imprisoned. Kaspar Hauser. On May 26, 1828, a teenage boy appeared in the streets of Nuremberg, Germany, carrying a letter addressed to a captain of the 6th Cavalry Regiment. The anonymous author said that the boy was given into his custody as an infant on the 7th of October, 1812, and that he had never been allowed to take a single step outside of his house. Now, the boy would like to be a cavalryman, and thus, the captain should either take him in or hang him. For some reason, the boy ate only bread and water and refused anything else. He would grab at any and all shiny objects, as if he had never seen light in his life. The boy claimed that his name was Kaspar Hauser, and that he grew up in a dark, isolated cell which was about 2 meters long, 1 meter wide, and 1.5 meters high, with only a straw bed to sleep on and a carved wooden horse for a toy. Hauser claimed that the first human being he had ever made contact with had been a mysterious man with a covered face who had visited him not long before his release. Hauser died after receiving a stab wound to his chest. Although the injury was reportedly self-induced, he claimed that he had been stabbed by the man who kept him confined all those years. Although there are many theories surrounding him, his real identity has never been confirmed. If you found these cases as mysterious as we did, please like the video and be sure to subscribe, because you really don't want to miss what's coming next.